Getting a passport is literally your key to unlocking the entire world. It's absolute freedom. But let's be honest, actually navigating the government paperwork to get one can sometimes feel like trying to read a map in the dark. So welcome to today's explainer. We're going to cut right through all that confusion and give you a clear, stress-free roadmap directly through the State Department's official guidelines. Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll start by figuring out which passport path you're actually on. Then, we'll walk through the first-timer's journey, followed by the new digital renewal route. Finally, we'll break down exactly what you'll be paying and how long you'll be waiting. By the end of this, you're going to be totally prepared to save time and dodge some really costly mistakes. All right, let's jump straight into part one, choosing your passport path, which is really like coming to a fork in the road. Right off the bat, we have to identify your specific starting point because the government splits this whole process into two fundamentally different experiences. If you look at it like a fork in the road, you're either heading down the physical route, which means dealing with Form DS-11 and applying in person, or if you're eligible to renew, you're taking the streamlined online digital fast track. Knowing where you stand right now dictates every single step we're about to cover.
Let's start by heading down that first path. We'll call this Route A, the first-timer's journey.
So this route is for first-timers or, honestly, anyone who just isn't eligible for an online renewal. It means you absolutely must apply in person. I know gathering official documents can feel super overwhelming, but you really only need three core things here. First, your proof of U.S. citizenship. For most folks, that's a birth certificate, but it could also be an old passport, a consular report of birth abroad, or a certificate of naturalization. Second, you need proof of identity. Think a valid driver's license or another government-issued ID. And finally, you need one valid passport photo, and I mean strictly valid. It has to perfectly meet the U.S. requirements for size, background, lighting, and even your facial expression. Once you've rounded up those documents, it's paperwork time. You're going to use the official State Department form filler to complete Form DS-11 online. Now, pay close attention to this next part because it's absolutely crucial. After you fill it out online, you must print it out single-sided. If you print a double-sided, the facility will outright reject it. Seriously. And once it's printed, step away from the stapler. Do not staple anything, don't alter it, and whatever you do, do not sign that paper yet. Keep it totally unsigned. So you might be thinking, okay, where on earth do I take this unstapled, unsigned stack of paper? Well, first-time adult applicants have to submit everything in person at an authorized passport acceptance facility. The good news? There are literally thousands of these scattered across the country. We're talking local post offices, clerks of court, public libraries, and various local government offices. Now, you are probably wondering why you couldn't just sign the form sitting at your kitchen table. It's because that signature actually has to be witnessed. At your appointment, the passport agent takes the wheel. They're going to carefully verify your identity, administer a formal oath where you swear to the truth of your application, and then, and only then, will they give you the green light to finally sign the DS-11. It sounds intense, but it's just a strict process to protect your identity. Okay, let's pivot to part 3 and check out the other side of that fork in the road. This is Route B, the digital renewal route. If you meet the government's specific requirements, you get to skip that entire physical paperwork process we just talked about. You can do the whole thing right from your laptop. To qualify, you have to be physically in the U.S. and just seeking routine service. Plus, the passport you're renewing has to have been valid for 10 years, and generally it needs to be expiring within the next year or have expired less than 5 years ago. If you check all those boxes, you are clear to go online. But I need to give you a massive warning right here about third-party scams. The State Department is incredibly explicit about this. You must complete your own application using the official travel.state.gov website. A third-party company literally cannot submit it for you. So please, whatever you do, do not pay some outside website that's pretending to offer official renewals. As long as you're on the official site, the steps are honestly a breeze. You just punch in the details from your current passport, your personal info, and your upcoming travel plans. You upload a digital photo, pay the fee online, hit submit, and then you just track the email updates. Easy, right? Well, just make sure you nail step 2, the digital photo. Getting the photo requirements wrong is hands down the fastest way to delay your entire application. All right, no matter which path you took, they both lead to the exact same place for our final section, the checkout counter and the waiting game. We really need to talk about how much this is going to cost you and exactly how long you'll be waiting. Let's break down the math for an adult applying for the first time. For a standard passport book, the application fee itself is $130, but you also have to add in a mandatory $35 acceptance fee, which brings your standard total to exactly $165. If you decide you only want a passport card, that's a $30 fee plus the $35 acceptance fee, totaling $65. Or if you want to go all out and get both the book and the card, you're looking at $195 total.
Now, what if you're in a hurry? Well, you can actually pay a $60 optional fee for expedited service. And if you're really down to the wire and want to speed up the shipping too, you can throw in another $23.36, which gets you 1 to 3 day delivery of your new passport book within the US. Okay, so the forms are submitted and the fees are paid. Now for the million-dollar question. How long does getting a US passport actually take? There is a massive, and I mean massive, difference between the official processing time and your actual, real-world waiting time. See, the State Department lists routine processing as 4 to 6 weeks, but if you're applying in person for the first time, you absolutely cannot assume that's your total timeline. You have to factor in up to 2 whole weeks just for your physical application to travel through the mail to the Department of State. Then you have that 4 to 6 weeks of actual processing. And finally, you have to account for up to another 2 weeks for the completed passport to travel back to you in the mail. So when you actually map the whole thing out, that 4 to 6 week window is really more like a 10-week ordeal from start to finish. And that is exactly why planning ahead is absolutely crucial. But look, once you navigate the paperwork, pay those fees, and wait out the mailing times, a literal lifetime of global access unlocks for you. The entire world just opens right up. So now that your roadmap is clear and you know exactly what to do, where are you planning to go first?